So a SpongeBob episode has finally premiered with something lower than 1 million viewers live, and that is concerning for SpongeBob fans. And well, before we get into the video, if you're a big fan of movies, shows, cartoons, whatever you love, here on this channel we have a channel for all fans, from like Harry Potter fans, Marvel fans, DC fans, Star Wars fans, even SpongeBob fans. Here on this channel we always talk about movies, shows, and all entertainment. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. That way you can be notified for future content here on the channel. And yeah, let's continue with the video. So for my subscribers, to my subscribers that have been subscribed for the last few months, this is going to be a surprise, but I'm a big SpongeBob fan. I love cartoons. I'm a big cartoon fan. Now, I don't keep up with cartoons as much now, mainly because I don't have cable anymore. I prefer streaming overall. But, you know, a few months ago, I actually did drop a video called Why SpongeBob Needs to End. And in that video, I said that, you know, SpongeBob has been oversaturated. Yes, it's Nickelodeon's biggest and most popular franchise of all time, but you've gone so overboard to a point where SpongeBob doesn't feel special anymore. SpongeBob doesn't feel as great as it once was, and I said it needs to end. So today, one of my things came out, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. SpongeBob is going to start losing more viewerships in the next few years, but you know, I still don't think this is going to be the downfall of SpongeBob. Now, I know I put in the title that this is probably the downfall. I don't think it really is, but I'm about to make that. I'm about to make that. But anyways, I grew up with SpongeBob. I loved SpongeBob as a kid. Those first 3 seasons to me are the 3 greatest seasons of any cartoon that's ever existed to me. I'm such a big SpongeBob fan. And, you know, I just cherish how hilarious and funny the SpongeBob has been in the past. But anyways, I'm not a big fan of the newer seasons. I tend to think they're very terrible, but I'm not gonna lie. You know, there's a few episodes there. You know, there's a few episodes I actually quite enjoy from SpongeBob that are recent. You know, I still don't think they're anywhere near as good as the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob back when Steven Hillenburg was here. But, you know, I still think some of the episodes are pretty good. Like this new one that hit under 1 million live premiere. I still think that episode was actually not bad. I thought it was all right. I had a little bit of fun with it. It's called Knock Knock, Who's There? And basically the episode is SpongeBob, you know, he's not allowed to open the door in Mr. Krabs' house. Not going to get more into it, but anyways, it hit 0.34 in viewerships. That's the lowest any live premiere of a SpongeBob episode has ever dropped, and that is concerning. Now, I got to say, there's a few things that, besides the downfall of SpongeBob, that I do think has affected this viewership. Number one, I believe it's streaming. Streaming has become much more popular now than it's ever been, and it's only going to continue growing. And, you know, SpongeBob is on Peacock. And, you know, a lot of people love their Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. And I do genuinely believe that streaming is going to destroy cable. And in the next few years, you'll see streaming as the main priority. Why? Because streaming, for now, it's cheaper. One day, I do think it'll be as pricey as cable, but for now, it's cheaper. You can choose when to watch a movie or show anytime soon. That's actually my main reason as to why I have streaming, because I don't like how cable, you have to schedule when to watch an episode or show or a movie. I mean, I want to watch whenever I want. Like, if I want to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, I want to play it at that moment. If I want to watch a new episode of Game of Thrones, I want to watch it at that moment. I don't want to just wait till like 9 p.m. because I don't have that kind of time. So I love streaming, and I don't like cable. I've told my parents, you know, I think the smartest choice is to just cut cable and continue with streaming service. And I do think that's part of the reason why this new SpongeBob episode failed, because, you know, for the most part, most people are into streaming. Streaming is the new thing. Streaming, you know, there's a lot more people now that are going more into streaming. Now, cable is still on top over streaming, but I predict that in like the next 2 years, streaming will be much more popular, and SpongeBob is planning on making spin-offs in streaming services. So I do think that Nickelodeon is aware that you know, this is mainly due to streaming, not to streaming taking over cable. The second thing is, you know, the promotion for it. You know, I was hearing about, you know, I don't have Nickelodeon anymore, so I can't really speak, but I was hearing other people about this. Apparently, they weren't promoting this episode as much, and that's because advertisements are expensive. And, you know, I guess they think SpongeBob can just market itself. I don't know. I don't know how Nickelodeon runs things anymore. I have not kept up with Nickelodeon, but I did watch this new SpongeBob episode. I gotta say, it was alright. And I do think part of it is the downfall for SpongeBob. I've been saying this before. I understand why Nickelodeon wants to keep SpongeBob on air. SpongeBob is their most iconic IP of all time. When you think Nickelodeon, you think SpongeBob, because SpongeBob, maybe it's not everyone's favorite cartoon, but it is the most popular cartoon Nickelodeon has ever made. It was much more popular than anyone ever expected. It has 3 movies. Let's remember that, 3 movies. It's been on the air since 1999. That was before I was ever born. I was like 2 years. I think SpongeBob was 2 years old once I was born, and that cartoon, skyrocketed. And it's been on forever, and you have multiple generations. You have kids of now, you have kids of the 90s, you have kids of the early 2000s, you have kids of the mid 2000s, just all loving SpongeBob. So yes, the IP is popular. I understand Nickelodeon's point of view, because let's be fair, Nickelodeon hasn't, from when I think I cut the cable 3 or 4 years ago, during that time, I remember the only other cartoon that was anywhere near as good as SpongeBob was the Loud House, and I didn't even like the Loud House that much, but it's complicated, and I understand Nickelodeon's point of view, but you have to understand you're oversaturating SpongeBob. I still consider that, even though SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon of all time, I still consider that there's more bad seasons of SpongeBob than there are good seasons. Like, there's a lot more bad seasons. I would say seasons 1 to 3 are masterpieces of cartoons. Seasons 4 through 6 are alright, but then after that, it took a giant downfall, and then after that, it just the occasionally good episode, just occasionally. And SpongeBob, to me, it's just getting oversaturated with terrible episodes and terrible seasons. And I do think that this is affecting other people, because you have a lot of people my age, you have a lot of people of the current generation who they'll see a new episode and be like, dang, they really messed up SpongeBob. He's not as funny anymore. They overuse these characters. And I do believe SpongeBob is not a cartoon that can go on for over 20 years. I am sorry, but SpongeBob was good at its prime, but it's just, it's loosening. And nowadays, watching a SpongeBob episode isn't special like it was back then. And yes, while what you're doing now, Nickelodeon, is making you more money, eventually that money is going to go away, because people are going to start realizing it. And I do believe that part of this is the downfall. And before you say, but what about all that streaming stuff you said? No. 2 years ago, this same problem happened. And back then, streaming wasn't anywhere near as popular as it was now. Back then, it was just Nickelodeon. Back then, it was just Netflix, and that was it. And Netflix did have SpongeBob at the time, but back then it was more cable. So yes, they had a ratings that still hit over 1 million, which is still really good. And even this current rating, it's really good compared to other cartoons. But now Nickelodeon needs to start thinking and being like, oh look, people aren't really tuning in to watch SpongeBob as much as we thought anymore. And I do think that's a big concern, because SpongeBob used to be a cartoon where adults, teenagers, kids of all ages enjoyed an episode, but now it's just more just towards kids. I understand SpongeBob will always be a kid's cartoon, but the thing that made SpongeBob special was that adults could sit down and watch it. I remember my parents would laugh when they watched this SpongeBob episode, which is surprising, because typically adults will just put on a cartoon just to keep the kids busy. But I do think this is a sign of decline for SpongeBob. Not show-wise, not episode-wise. For all I know, maybe the next season is going to be the greatest SpongeBob season of all time. But one thing that is a main thing that we got to look at is the viewerships are going lower. A lot of things are there to be worried about. And I've said this before, I think the smartest thing for Nickelodeon to do, not on a financial level, but on a legacy level, is to, just cut SpongeBob. Give them a farewell season, a goodbye season. Don't do a Fairly Odd Parents and just cut it out of nowhere and give us a terrible ending. What you do is make one more season. You make a lot of money. You promote it as the final SpongeBob season, because a lot of classic fans are going to go in there being like, wow, this is the final season. And, we'll send it a goodbye. Maybe even make a final movie. That's great too. And you can still sell your merch. You can still sell all this. You can still promote it on a streaming service. And there, you got your financial gain, and you got a legacy gain. Because I'm telling you, if SpongeBob continues for the next 10 years, it's just going to go down and down and down. The viewerships are going to go lower. Everything's going to go lower. And I don't think Nickelodeon wants that. But hey, that's just my concern. And if you don't have that concern, awesome. I still believe that Nickelodeon's not doing a smart choice. I understand why they're doing this choice. But at the same time, for the future, I don't think this is the best benefit. But hey, y'all do you. But yeah, you don't want to be like The Office, where in the last few seasons it's just terrible and terrible and terrible, to where fans remember those seasons as the terrible seasons. But hey, That's how it is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comment sections down below your thoughts on this situation. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Whatever it is, let me know in the comment sections down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. It only takes 1 second. Makes a massive difference to the channel, and I guarantee you guys, it's free. It's free. No charge whatsoever. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and follow us on our social medias on Instagram and Twitter at Isaac the Film Geek. And again, make sure you comment down below after the video. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.